Irish guy, and yeah, today I'm going to take a look at every Premier League club and find each team's most exciting transfer target. One player you're supposedly closing in on this month who should really make you thrilled. Right, let's go. Arsenal, Mikel Merino. I'm incredibly frustrated. I don't even support Arsenal, and even I am bored of this whole transfer saga. The Mikel Merino transfer story has been rumbling on for weeks. And do you know what Real Sociedad and Arsenal are squabbling about every day? A difference of about £7 million, as this technically superb 28-year-old Euro 2024 winning Spanish midfielder has just a year left on his deal. So Arsenal don't want to pay the £30 million asking price. Well, are you for real? It's still less money than what Liverpool gave you for Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain 7 years ago. Someone who really did turn out to be a potato with eyes. Look, get the deal done, because Merino is basically a younger Jorginho and would be a sizzlingly perfect addition to the Gunners midfield. Aston Villa, Petric and Calves. Okay, I'm not sure how true this transfer story is, but after Aston Villa have just seen their João Felix dream go up in flames thanks to the return of Chelsea wanting to re-sign their former lonely disappointment, honestly lad, Villa might laugh at Chelsea for now doing a permanent deal for someone who was a forgettable munchkin was on loan there last year. But haven't you done exactly that for Ross Barkley? Someone who during his loan spell at Villa was about as memorable as a Joe Rogan Netflix special. Please stop screaming into the mic. Look, apparently Villa are wanting to push you a £70 million deal for Sporting Lisbon's 26-year-old attacking midfielder Petric and Calves. Someone who actually used to live half an hour away from Villa Park. I remember when this deliciously talented Portuguese playmaker was spectacularly ignored for 2 years at Wolves, with Nuno Santo looking like he would sooner kiss a bulldog than let Pedro sneak onto the pitch. Honestly, this man has grown up to register 79 goals and 52 assists for a Portuguese great in Sporting. How was he never allowed to make his Premier League debut? I mean, while away in international duty, both he and PSG midfielder Vitinha, they must feel like they're having a picnic with Red Riding Hood's grandma as they both discuss how much they hate Wolves. Well, make no mistake, put Pedro into Unai Emery's side and Villa would deliciously cook. Again, is that what kids say? Cook? Bournemouth, Giorgi Mamardsashvili. Lads, this transfer could be huge. As things stands, we could be about to witness one of the most complicated transfers in world football, as Liverpool are inching closer to a €30 million deal for Valencia's 23-year-old #1 goalkeeper Giorgi Mamardsashvili, a monstrously talented goalie who shone for Georgia at the Euros, but because their world-class goalie Alisson is not getting dislodged anytime soon, apparently the Reds are in cahoots with Bournemouth. What, is this like a goodbye present from Richard Hughes? He's trying to get both his clubs a deal. I mean, it's a bit like taking your ex-girlfriend on a summer holiday with your wife. But lads, the Cherries are apparently going to pay Valencia a €5 million loan fee, so Mamadashvili will join Liverpool, but then be immediately loaned out to Bournemouth. And oh wow, for the Cherries to get their hands on arguably the most sought-after goalkeeper on the planet under the age of 25, even if it is just a one-year sympathy loan, this is huge. This is like if I somehow bump into KSI and Burger King and convince him to let me borrow the Ferrari he just bought. Bournemouth have absolutely no right to get their paws on Mamadashvili, somebody who is a future world-class goalkeeper. This guy is the future. He's the next Alisson Becker. I promise you, the Cherries signing him on loan is the equivalent of if Chelsea had won the race to sign Alisson from Roma back when they still had Thibaut Courtois in net, and so immediately loaned him out to West Brom. What a signing this will be. Brentford, none. Yeah, Brentford have already played their hand. They're done. We've known all summer long, ever since they rushed out of the blocks to chuck in a monster £35 million bid for Leeds wonderkid Archie Gray, we've known that the Brentford owner was sitting on a secret fat paycheck. It was just very awkward when that transfer collapsed, because now everyone knew that the Bees had a golden pot of cash, as if they just mugged some leprechaun. So yeah, they've eventually spent the £27 million on Fabio Carvalho. So unless they're forced to sell Ivan Toney this month, and weirdly, Saudi Pro League clubs are hovering. Christ, I'm sorry, Tony, but if after all that Champions League chatter, you decide to then chase the £250,000 a week bag at Al Ahly, then Brighton, Ferdi Kadioglu. Yeah, here we have a deal that is 80% done. Brighton have already agreed personal terms with 24-year-old Turkish midfielder slash fullback slash winger Ferdi Kadioglu, who's been at Fenerbahce since 2018. Considering he's primarily a left back these days, then clearly he's been brought to go straight into Fabian Herzler's defense. And yes, he is hipster enough for that rookie coach, because to look at him, yes, he looks like somebody who does read 18th century poetry by candlelight whilst devouring a vegan steak ice cream. Look, any player who chooses to reject the chance to work under Josie Mourinho to instead sign up for a season listening to a coach coach who was 11 years old the first time the special one lifted the Champions League. Oh, then they would need their brain tested. It's a bit like me choosing to turn down lunch with a brilliant mind like Nelson Mandela to instead spend an hour squatting in an alleyway eating dead bumblebees with Fogden. But still, he is supposed to be a quality, versatile player, almost like a young James Milner, so decent signing this. Chelsea, Jadon Sancho. Look, as we speak, the internet is covered with transfer stories like a Chelsea with Jadon Sancho. And yes, whilst this does sound unrealistic on paper, Chelsea are that bonkers that I actually believe this loan deal might happen. And lads, I've been Team Sancho the one at Stamford Bridge for years. I mean, to be fair, it would have been a better move for him if Pochettino was still at the wheel. But no, instead, he's now signed up for half a decade of watching AC Milan games through his fingers, praying for Christian Pulisic not to snap his hamstring like a Twix. Lads, Sancho is a boyhood Chelsea fan, and he has utter flair and magic in his boots. If there is truth in this rumor, then Chelsea fans, get excited because having both Jadon Sancho and Cole Palmer on the wings, that is delicious on paper. Crystal Palace, Robin Gosens. Yeah, here we have Oliver Glasner, about to pull off a transfer of madness if this one comes off, with Crystal Palace stiffing on 30-year-old Germany international left wing back Robin Gosens, someone who is a spectacularly attack-minded defender. During his 5 years at Atalanta, he then briefly moved to Inter Milan and has now been back in the Bundesliga with Union Berlin for a year. But apparently Palace moved to the top of the queue for his signature. This fellow would provide sickening competition for Tyreek Mitchell at the back. And why this transfer rumor seems to have a lot of credibility is because he's a very similar player to Ryan Sessegnon, who Glasner recently had on trial. So Palace are clearly in the market for a left wing back. It's just a shame that poor old Ryan, after barely playing a match for 18 months, he probably does with the match fitness of a snail. I'm guessing he now probably develops a stitch just walking to his local Asda for a Freddo. But Gosens, this would be a coup. Everton, Victor Roque. Yeah, Everton are finally going ambitious again. Lads, Everton have rarely shocked me in the transfer market lately. They've never really gone out there and blown me away by signing a stupendously monstrous name. Not for a while. The days of signing Samuel Eto'o, Wayne Rooney, and James Rodriguez, three formerly world-class footballers, those days are long gone, but this is finally an exciting target. Everton are apparently in the hunt for Barcelona's £40 million teenage striker Victor Roque, who joined from Atlético Paranaense last year after ripping the Brazilian Serie A to shreds. And to be fair, he did score in back-to-back La Liga games last season. To be fair, he could just be the Brazilian Federico Maqueda, but no, lads, he's made his Brazil debut already. He is seen as one of the top young talents in the world. So if Sean Dyche can actually convince him to join, oh wow. Fulham, Joachim Andersen. Right now, Fulham are probably utterly hating Newcastle United because it wasn't for Eddie Howe's crew refusing to take no for an answer and continue to sniff around Crystal Palace's Mark Gay. Then in all likelihood, Marco Silva would probably be able to unveil Denmark centre-half Joachim Andersen at Craven Cottage now. But no, because Steve Parish is terrified that the Magpies will soon make him an offer they can't refuse. Don't worry, not the Godfather style. I'm not saying the Newcastle owners will stuff a dead horse in his bed. Although, to be honest, I also wouldn't be that surprised. But no, if Newcastle do manage to steal away Gay, then Palace don't want to leave themselves short, and so have chucked a fat, ludicrous £40 million price tag on the head of the 28-year-old Danish centre-half. Look, he is a quality defender who's already been on loan at Craven Cottage before. I'll be honest, I forgot he was there. Come on, it was the season where they were relegated under Scott Parker. Scott Parker, by the way, who this season would have Ronaldinho's number in his phone as he's literally coaching his son. After having Vincent Kompany in charge last season, after interviewing Ruud van Nistelrooy for the manager's job this summer, and now having a Ballon d'Or winner stuffed in the stands, snacking on a pie. Since when did Burnley become so celebrity obsessed? What next? Are they soon gonna have Jennifer Aniston serving the burgers at half time? Ipswich Town, Sammy Schmoddix. By the time I'm finished with this video, this deal might already be done, but Ipswich are having a very busy week. After tying up a loan deal for Calvin Phillips, and they've also persuaded Napoli midfielder John Cajusta to quit Serie A for them too. This is the most hectic week for McKenna since Rory and Booby set up the club. But look, Ipswich have agreed an £11 million deal with Blackburn to buy the Championship Golden Boot winner and Republic of Ireland international striker Schmoddix. This man is a classy finisher and guaranteed goals. What a brilliant signing this will be. Leicester City, Wilfred Zaha. Look, this transfer has been heavily plunged into doubt this week over tax concerns, so don't get too excited. But for a few days there, Steve Cooper really was exploring the possibility of taking a one-to-way Wilfred Zaha out of Galatasaray. And I'm sorry, but if there's even a shred of chance this transfer might be able to happen, then make it happen. I know he turns 32 years old in November, but Zaha is a wonderful player, an incredibly dazzling, stupendously skillful winger. I don't know why he wants to leave Turkey after just a year. Maybe he really is just a homesick puppy, but if Cooper could take advantage and get him into his Leicester starting 11, bear in mind, this is just a year after Crystal Palace desperately tried to offer the man a 4-year extension worth £200,000 a week. This is a £200,000 a week footballer, according to Palace anyway. So if Leicester could get both him and Steffi Mavididi on either flank, then suddenly this team is looking dangerous and devastating on the counter-attack. Get this done. Liverpool, Giorgi Mamardsashvili. Yeah, Giorgi Mamardsashvili makes this list twice. Lads, he is the real deal. He is a mini Alisson. Being able to sign him for just 30 million euros, this is going to be insane business. The only worry is, are the Reds signing him too early? Because Alisson is only 31. He could realistically have another 5 years left as Liverpool's number 1. So what do you do with Mamardsashvili? Sure, he has this Cherries loan lined up, but what then? Do you give him the Kelleher treatment for 4 years? Nah, this could be an ugly, messy situation where you loan him out to 4 or 5 different teams, which would probably make the Georgian extremely impatient. Imagine waiting half a decade to make your Liverpool debut. This could wind up being a complicated mess. It might be like when Chelsea let Atletico Madrid borrow a young Courtois for 3 seasons on the bounce. It got to such a strange and bizarre point that Chelsea employee Courtois was literally helping knock Chelsea out of a Champions League semi-final, while Chelsea had to pick a nearly 50-year-old Max Schwarzer in goal. So this could be an ugly headache in the future, but for now, just concentrate on what a signing this will be. Man City, Divin Mubamba. Yeah, Man City are in advanced talks with West Ham over a £1.5 million deal for 19-year-old winger Divin Mubamba. I don't know, I guess he must be good. Man United, Frankie de Jong. Yeah, it's that time of year again, and Manchester United are apparently back in for Frankie de Jong. Erik ten Hag will just not leave him alone, and I'm sorry, but this man, yes, he might be one of the most filthily overpaid footballers in La Liga. Come on, the fact that his agent was able to shake down Barcelona for £600,000 a year. You're part of the reason the club went broke and had to sell their goat. You're the reason the toilets probably don't flush at the new camp. So look, he will have to take a massive pay cut to get this Ajax reunion at Old Trafford. So he really is a majestic, smooth, ball-playing midfielder who, to be fair, he's not young anymore. He turns 28 years old this season, so it's probably now or never. This reminds me of when Manchester United tried to prize Cesc Fabregas out of Barcelona at a similar age. Yeah, he goes to Chelsea instead, and once again eats the Prem with a spoon. Lads, if this move comes off, it would be immense. If you were told a Manchester United fan 5 years ago that they would one day sign both De Ligt and De Jong in the same summer, they were the two most in-demand footballers in the world at the time. Oh, the fans would nearly faint. Tell them they'd also sign Donny van de Beek as well. Oh yeah, and steal Ajax's highly rated manager. Oh, they'd all be so excited. They'd be off to get matching Cruyff tattoos. Newcastle, Mark Gay. Yeah, I've already said it. Newcastle have locked their eyes on Crystal Palace centre-half Mark Gay. He is the guy they want. And they've had 4 bids knocked back, so clearly Palace want to keep him, but they've also left the door open for his exit by telling Newcastle,
if you want a superstar, pay superstar money.
Yeah, easy with the superstar talk there, Steve. I know he just stepped in to play for England at the Euros, but at ease. Tyrone Mings did that at the previous Euros. I think everyone can now appreciate he's got the hype of a squashed mini role. Look, Gay is free to leave Centres Park on a free in 2 years' time, so £70 million is a huge chunk of cash. By the way, no, he's a quality centre-half and really would be a classy signing at St James's Park. Nottingham Forest, Eddie Nketiah. Yeah, so Nottingham Forest want to sign Arsenal striker Eddie Nketiah, who really must feel like some sort of prisoner being held captive in the Arsenal dungeons right now. I don't know, I guess he'd be a decent buy, I guess. Southampton, Leslie Ukachukwu. Yeah, Southampton are about to type a loan deal for Chelsea midfielder Leslie Ukachukwu. Look, he's a quality, robust midfielder who Chelsea did pay £23 million for when they signed him from Rennes, so a loan move to Southampton is a solid signing. Although, if the Saints were going to be in the market for a Chelsea midfielder on loan, I bet the fans wish they'd gotten Romeo Lavia back instead. I would imagine that if his body wasn't clearly made of toilet paper, if he didn't snap his hamstrings whilst reaching for a spoon of Weetabix, then he probably would have rejoined them alone instead. Tottenham Vanderson. Okay, Spurs have just randomly signed teenage winger Wilson Odobert from Burnley as we speak, but no, another player who Tottenham are heavily linked with is 23-year-old Brazilian international right back Vanderson, who they want to poach from Monaco. Look, on paper, an attacking Brazilian Samba defender is always fun to watch, but you literally just farmed your latest Brazilian right back mess, flop Emerson Royal off to AC Milan. So just be careful, Spurs fans. West Ham, Carlos Soler. Are West Ham ever going to stop buying players this summer? Clearly, Julian Lopetegui thought the current Hammer squad was about as talented as Maggot Pie, because he's practically bought himself a whole new team. The Hammers are right now plotting an opening bid for PSG's 27-year-old midfielder Carlos Soler. He was a quality number 8 for many years at Valencia and has been decent in Paris. So again, this would be another quality coup. Wolves, Carlos Forbes. Yeah, Wolves already identified the replacement for Pedro Neto and his 20-year-old Portuguese winger Carlos Forbes, someone who joined Ajax last year in a £17 million deal after spending 8 years in the Man City academy. Yeah, I know he's incredibly young and raw, and this could be like the Fabio Silva mess all over again, but apparently he is a phenomenal young talent with bags of potential. So definitely one to watch. Anyway, that's it already, but what do you think? Let me know. What do you think? Let me know what is the most exciting transfer link you have this summer. Let me know. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share, as always. I'll talk to you in a while.